Welcome to lockdown vlog number 48. And I was just too late. I wanted to show you how the coffee starts pouring into this mocha pot. But anyways, you can see the last part of it. And it's almost done. A little sputter. And then we have some nice coffee. Let's put away that hot water. What you saw there was some coffee also being I spilled some coffee when doing the preparations for this coffee, so that's what you were seeing. Don't think my sink is very dirty, because it is not. Let's put in some coffee right over there. Trying to manage the camera and to aim at the same time, which is a skill for me because there's a little delay on the camera. Okay, so yesterday I got a comment from somebody who said, hey, why did you stop making coffee? Because I enjoyed that part. Well, I didn't stop, it's just that I don't do it every day. So this is for Leandro. Cheers, Leandro. He is from Brazil and he is enjoying the parts where I make the coffee. There you go. Okay, so for today I have a few things that I wanted to share with you, and at the end I have a little rant that I have to do. I promised you I wouldn't do that anymore, but sometimes I get confused, let's call it confused, by what people are writing down. Another thing, if you listen to my vlog yesterday, I told you about visiting Michael's crib and listening to his setup, and he has been so kind to comment on yesterday's vlog and write down all the loudspeakers that we have been listening to. So if you are interested in that, go into yesterday's vlog, look at this comment from Michael, and there you can see what we did. Okay, another thing that I'm working on is the surround sound setup. Now there appears to be some confusion, so probably I did not make myself clear as I wanted to. I am not going to replace the Auxilias. The Auxilias will be back in a few days or a few weeks. But this, turning my house, the living room, into a surround sound setup is just an experiment that I wanted to do for a very, very long time. But these Lin loudspeakers are not going to replace my Auxilias, because even though I like the Lins, they are nowhere near as good sounding as the Auxilias. So this is just temporarily. Somebody was so kind as to say, well, good luck with cable management. Well, I am going to do some more cable dressing, but for this experiment I'm not really going to bother with a good cable management. But thanks for the concern anyway. So where am I at the moment? Well, over here I have the little Lin for surrounds. I over here have the other Lin for surround. And they should be at the sides of the couch, and this, of course, right in the middle over there is the listening spot. And as you can see, can I get close enough? The two Lins are just on the side of the loudspeaker. Yesterday, the center loudspeaker, yesterday I had it right in there, which I did like, but I realized when the Lin loudspeakers are all the way out here, what you want to do with your main loudspeakers and your center loudspeaker is to have them lined up more or less in the same line, Now I know you can change those parameters in the menu of the Oppo and put a delay on it or something like that. But as a true audiophile, I rather place it the way it should be instead of using electronics to correct something that I can just do. I can just place them at the same line. I have them on this little table, so all three left, right, center loudspeakers are at the same distance from the main listening position for movies. So that's why I did it like this. I did not play it yet because not everything is yet connected, so I don't know where the LIN loudspeakers will end up, but it's going to be very easy to place the center loudspeaker at the same line. And I'm just curious about the effect or how it sounds in this big room instead of where I normally have it downstairs. How a surround sound setup and movie, because that of course is my movie screen. I'm just curious, how does it sound? So I take the opportunity to make a complete surround sound setup. I was going to place the Marantz right over there. There's a nice spot, but by placing it over here, especially when setting it up, it makes it much easier to change cables and stuff like that. And over here you have the Oppo, so when the Marantz is next to it, it's very easy with cables. But what I'm going to try, because the Oppo has two HDMI outs, you can use one for video and you can use one for audio. So what I'm going to do is to have the video out go directly to the projector and the audio out go into the Marantz in order for it to be able to divide it over all the different loudspeakers. And I don't know if that's going to give trouble with synchronization and stuff like that, but that's why it is an experiment and that's why you try out the things. Now these yellow cables are also Van der Hoel cables, just like the red ones that are still over there that I have in use normally. And these yellow Van der Hoel cables are also the ones that I use downstairs. They are 3 different lengths. And as I told you, for the room downstairs I don't care too much about the different lengths. But well, that's why I use them right over here. And I never found, for a price that I wanted to pay, Van der Hoel cables as long as I need to go to the surround loudspeakers. So that's why I have these much cheaper cable over here. So hopefully tonight, tomorrow, I'll be watching movie with surround sound setup. Okay. Then there was a thing that somebody was commenting on, and I promised you guys that I wouldn't react to that anymore, but sometimes, and I'm not going to call it stupidity, but I'm going to say sometimes things people say just confuse me. So here's what happened. Oh, and before I go into this comment, I cannot tell you guys what to do or what not to do, but if you want to do me a favor, don't go into that comment section to that commenter and make a mess out of it. I am the one now commenting on him, on his comments, so you don't have to. So what is this all about? Well, it is about the review of the Wilsonton R8, which is now standing over here because I used the table for the Marantz over there now, and the Wilsonton was standing on that table. So this comment is about the Wilsonton R8 review, and what the commenter says is, I watched your review, but I had to stop watching the review because, and here it comes, because I have a PS Audio regenerator. Now I'm not really sure what these two things have to do with each other. Why can't you watch a video about something because of something else. That's the first level that I just don't understand. He goes on, what he says is, I stopped watching the review because the PS Audio is more expensive than my complete setup. Now, again, I do not really understand what is the connection between these two, but if he is bothered that something is expensive, while reviewing something that is 3 times as cheap as the PS Audio, this thing is 700 euros. The PS Audio is 2100 euros. So, you know, I get confused. So, what he actually says is, I cannot listen to a review because you have something else in your house that is expensive. You see where I'm getting at? I'm sure this guy is not listening to Michael Jackson anymore because Michael Jackson had a lot of expensive stuff in his house. I mean, that would be consistent, right? I also have an expensive espresso machine. Would that be a reason not to watch this review? So then he goes on. I stopped watching the review because your PS Audio is more expensive than my complete set. Therefore, this is just elite. This is just high five for the elite. Apparently, I am doing only things for the elite. Now, here's my confusion about that. Because for those of you, if you have ever wondered when is something elite or not, apparently the price of this guy's system is what defines elite from non-elite. Now, he didn't say what his system costs, so I don't know when something becomes elite, but apparently he knows what is elite and what is not elite. And I get confused by those kind of things. What does one thing have to do with the other? And there is even another level that confuses me. So he is bothered by the fact that I have a 2100 euro power regenerator. That's what he is bothered with, a $2,100 device. But he is not bothered by a 12,000 euro loudspeaker. You see, I just don't get it. So anyways, I'm sure for this guy there's logic in what he says. And I know that I'm probably looking for a level of nuance that is hard to get on YouTube. And I know people say, well, if you put your stuff out there on the internet, you must accept that you get commented on that. And I get that, and that's what I do, and I'm getting better at it. But it has to be a two-way street. If you take the time to comment on somebody's video and it is pure nonsense, you should be able to be called out as well. At least that's how it should work for me. Anyways, this was a little rant that I had to get rid of, making conclusions because of something else, and you know, it just confuses me. And let's leave it at that. I can go on for another hour if you let me, but I won't. So, hopefully this weekend I am listening to a surround sound movie in my room, and I'll be informing you how it goes next week, because the weekend is coming up. It is Friday over here in Rotterdam. I thank you for watching this video, and I'll see you next Monday.